Hi, I'm Carlin, and this is JavaScript for programmers. JavaScript code is executed linearly from top to bottom, unless condition or loop statements are encountered. The condition statements are the if statement and the switch statement. The loop statements are the for statement, the for in statement, the while statement, and the do while statement. If statements. The if statement is written just as you'd expect. If condition followed by a block of code. Else if condition followed by a block of code. Else followed by a block of code. The else if and else statements are optional. Switch statements. The switch statement is written switch keyword followed by an expression in parentheses followed by a left curly bracket. You have the case keyword followed by the first value followed by a colon. The block of code that is executed when the expression evaluates to the first value, and then a break keyword followed by a semicolon. Now you have the case keyword and the second value followed by a colon. The block of code that is executed when the expression evaluates to the second value, and the break keyword followed by a semicolon. Then you add the case statements for all appropriate values of the expression. The last statement is the default statement, colon, followed by the block of code that is executed when the expression equals none of the case values. The switch statement is closed by a right curly bracket. Switch statements continued. The break statement stops execution at the end of each block of code, so execution will continue with the statement following the switch statement, rather than executing the rest of the case statements. For statements. The for loop executes a block of code a number of times based on the start value of the index, the end condition, and the index increment value. For left paren, index equals start semicolon, end condition semicolon, increment index right paren. Left curly brace, block of code, right curly brace. Before the loop starts, the index is set to the start value. For example, I equals 10 semicolon. Each time the loop executes, the end condition, for example, I less than 20 semicolon, is evaluated. When the end condition is false, the loop terminates. Although the end condition usually involves the index, it does not have to. For statements continued. After the block of code is executed, the index is incremented. For example, I equals I plus 2. The for statement with the given values would be for left paren, I equals 10, semicolon, I less than 20, semicolon, I equals I plus 2, right paren. And the block of code would execute 5 times. Each part of this for statement can be eliminated as shown below. If the index is set prior to the for statement, it can be written for left paren, semicolon, I less than 20, semicolon, I equals I plus 2, right paren. More for statements. Instead of terminating the loop after executing the entire block of code, you might want to check a condition in the middle and terminate the code when the condition is true with the break statement. The for statement might look like the following. For left parenthesis, I equals 10, semicolon, semicolon, I equals I plus 2, right paren. Left curly bracket, some code. If I greater than or equal to 20, break, semicolon. Some more code, right curly bracket. If you want to increment the index within the block of code, the for statement might look like for, left paren, I equals 10, semicolon, I less than 20, semicolon, right paren. For in statements. Not all the C-like languages have something comparable to the for in statement. The for in statement loops through the property values of an object. For example, if we have an object declared as follows: var car equals color red, make Plymouth, model Valiant, the for in code might be var my car equals the null string, var x, for x in car, my car plus equals car x. And my car would be the string red Plymouth Valiant. While statements. The while statement is written as while, left paren, condition, right paren, left curly bracket, block of code, right curly bracket. The block of code is executed as long as the condition is true. If the condition starts out false, the block of code is never executed. Do while statements. The do while statement is written as do, left curly bracket, block of code, right curly bracket, while, left paren, condition, right paren, semicolon. The block of code is always executed at least once because the condition is not checked until after the first time through the loop. Break and continue statements. As shown previously, the break statement can be used to jump out of the loop before normal termination. JavaScript has an additional way to affect the execution of loop statements. The continue statement stops the current loop execution, and execution returns to the start of the loop. Both break and continue statements usually occur in loops after an if condition evaluates to true. Label statements. Any statement in JavaScript can have a label. It is written label colon statement semicolon. Both the break and continue statements can transfer execution to a labeled statement with break label name semicolon and continue label name semicolon. When the continue statement is used with a label, execution can jump out of the loop.